Good morning. It's Jeffrey Christian from CPM Group. It's Friday, the 30th of October. If I had thought about it, I would have brought in a Halloween mask to wear. Sorry, not there. I got into trouble in the 1970s when I bought masks for everybody in my office at the time. And the boss came in and saw us all wearing Halloween masks and was a little bit upset with me. But I left there. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the market this week and where we think it's going next week. Obviously, next Tuesday is election day in the United States. It's going to be very important for both the U.S. president and the Senate races. And there's a great deal of uncertainty about what is going on. You know, right now, the pundits on the political side talk about a Democrat taking the presidency and possibly even taking control of the Senate. We're not all that assured that that's actually going to happen. So there's a great deal of uncertainty. And you've seen that in the market this week. The rise of COVID in the United States and in Europe, and the likelihood that things are going to get much, much worse, much faster over the next 3-4 months with the pandemic has really hit the economy. We saw a stronger GDP figure for the third quarter in the U.S., but if you look at it, the U.S. economy is still 3.5–4% smaller than it was at the beginning of the year before the pandemic hit it. So while we saw a strong 33% increase in GDP quarter over quarter, given the fact that we'd seen a 33% decrease in the second quarter, it didn't even take us back to where we were in the first quarter. And that's very problematic. And it's problematic what's going on in Europe. And we have Brexit coming on right after the US election. And as we've written about over the last few months, the election probably won't be decided next Tuesday, but there may be some clear visions as to what's going to be happening. But there's a great deal of volatility. We've seen that with a stronger dollar based on the economics and the pandemics and the politics. We've seen a stronger dollar this week that hit the stock market, it hit the oil market. Oil is off well more than 10% over the last 5 days. From more than $41 to less than $36 this morning for WTI. Gold prices, silver, platinum, palladium, all got hit pretty hard this week. Gold is starting to recover, as are the other precious metals, and copper is doing relatively well. We think that was probably a spike down that we had been talking about. We had been looking at a possible spike to 1850. It got down to about 1859 yesterday. We do think that gold prices will rise, if not immediately over the next couple of days, over the next few weeks and the next few months and the next few years. So we're still positive on gold, and I think we've seen some people taking the weakness in prices this week as a buying opportunity. So it's going to be interesting. There's a term in football, backfield in motion. And I think what you're seeing this week is the backfield of the financial markets, across markets, stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, precious metals. The backfields are in motion, and the ball gets snapped next Tuesday. So it's going to be interesting. We have done a couple podcasts that I want to point you to. We did 2-part podcast for Kitco earlier in the week, late last week. One part was on PGMs and platinum in particular, which was posted Monday or Tuesday of this week. The next part is more on the equity markets, not only the mining equity markets, but the broader equity markets. And I discussed, I think perhaps to their surprise, the decapitalization that we've really been seeing for the last 10 years in the US equity markets and what it means for our overall economic performance and how it explains the dichotomy that you've seen of a stronger stock market relative and a weaker overall real economy. You know, the reality is that in 2019, companies bought more of their stocks than investors did. They were decapitalizing, they were taking their profits, and rather than investing them in productive capacity, they were buying their stocks back. And that explains the strength that we've seen in the stock market over the last 10, 12 years, really. That gets posted by Kitco later today. We also did a very long podcast with the Northern Miner, and it covered a wide range of topics, including a lot of the major events that we've seen in the precious metals markets over the last 40 years and where we think they're going and why, as well as issues in the stock market and the broader economy and changes in the international currency regime. The interview itself was about 49 minutes inside a longer podcast, and we're getting a lot of kudos on it, and I wanted to point you in its direction because I think you'll find it very interesting. That's about all I have for today. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay clean, be good to yourself, take care of yourself, take care of others. Tell people that they really should be wearing masks. And we'll talk to you on the other side of the election. Take care.